Thanks for joining us for Understanding Real Estate with Realtor Becky Cobb of West Cobb Alliance, part of the ReeceNichols Real Estate Group in Neosho.
So, Becky, thinking about some things in my life that I want to purchase soon, should I go for the house or the car first?
You know I'm going to say the house. Of course it's the house first. One of the things when people are wanting to buy a house, they need to realize that when they get pre-qualified, their lender takes a look at their credit and their financial ability to repay any loan they would be given at the beginning of the loan process, at the beginning of the search process, and then they do it again right before you close. So I have had the circumstances where someone bought a car after they got pre-qualified with their lender. I didn't know it. The lender didn't know it. And then when they do that final check right before we close, they're like, whoa, their values are off now, and they can no longer afford to buy this house per the lender's measurements. You know what? If you just wait after you close on the house, very good chances that somebody is going to be willing to give you a car loan. I hope you can repay them, but you got to get the house done with first, and then you can go buy the car and the appliances and the furniture and rack up that credit card if you want. Don't advise it, but you could.
Well, this morning, Becky, tell us about being smart with our credit right before we're going to sell our home.
So there are times when people think that because their home is listed, they no longer need to make their house payments on a regular basis. That is terrible, terrible plan, especially if you're going to if you're planning on buying something once you sell your house, because you are hurting your credit during that process. I heard of a story of someone who thought that, and it's a very disappointing thing for a seller/buyer to realize that during this process of selling their home, by not making their house payments on a timely, regular basis, they've actually prevented themselves from being able to buy the next home. So taking care of your credit is important whether you're a buyer or a seller. And again, that has to do a lot with making sure you're making payments on time. And that also goes for your utility payments, hospital bills, credit card bills, anything out there. You really need to manage your credit wisely, and that makes you more eligible to purchase the home of your dreams and purchase the other things that you're dreaming about too.
So for this morning, Becky, when I'm looking at different homes to buy, how should I look beyond the cosmetics?
I think it's really important to take a good, deep look at the structure of a home. As a realtor, I've reached that point in my career, in fact, many years ago, where you can tell the difference of a way a house feels, if it's a good, solid home, or if somebody has literally put lipstick on a pig. It may look pretty. It may have all fresh paint and even granite countertops, but sometimes the structure isn't sound. So that's a really good reason to have a home inspection done, to make sure that you are looking beyond the pretty and looking at what's underneath it all, what's above it all, and make sure you really do have a sound structure that you are purchasing. You can fix paint color you don't like, you can fix cabinets you don't like, but if there's something wrong with the foundation, you got roof problems, a variety of other problems that could be going on, water problems, that's a long-term issue that can affect your ability to enjoy the home and sell it again later.
Well, good morning once again, Becky. Tell us today, what do you think we should know about contingencies?
Well, most real estate contracts are going to have some form of contingencies. The most basic one that almost every contract has is an inspection contingency. That gives you a time period to hire a home inspector and get that home inspected, and to make sure you find it agreeable and maybe negotiate with the seller a little bit more on the condition of the house. A contingency as a realtor I always think of that I'm not a big fan of seeing coming, but comes fairly often, is a contingency to maybe sell another property or close on another property. So sometimes buyers love your home, they want to buy it, they have to sell their house. An important thing for you to know about that type of contingency is, have they already had their house listed? Did they already have a contract on their house? Is that a contingency for closing? Usually those go pretty well. Or is it a contingency for selling? And a contingency for selling could be more tricky because they don't even have their house on the market perhaps. They don't have a buyer lined up, and you may be going under contract with somebody who doesn't have a good plan for how they're going to get to closing. So you and your realtor need to go over those things and make sure you understand the contingencies that are part of your contract.
So, Becky, when I'm looking to buy a home, how should I separate my needs from my wants?
Well, basically, the way I would define it is a need is anything I want or the wife wants. And a want, well, that's anything the husband thinks he needs to have, okay? In reality, though, let's take a list. Make a list of your needs versus your wants. Okay, do you need 3 bedrooms? Do you need 4 bedrooms? Or would you just like to have a 4th bedroom because it'd be great to have an office? Do you need to be in this school district, or would you just like to be in this school district? It's a good idea for you and whoever you may be purchasing your home with is to sit down and make a good list of your needs and your wants, and then review that with your real estate agent. You're not going to get everything that's on that needs and /wants list. You're going to have to be willing to make some compromise because there is no perfect home out there. But your realtor's going to try to get you to the point where you get to check as many of those boxes as possible.
If you would like to know more about understanding real estate, you may contact Becky Cobb at 417-592-3245 of the West Cobb Alliance, your realtors for life. Find out more on the web at neosho.homes.